Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. The hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G, flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spray. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On 2nd and 15 now. Wilson, he'll let this go deep for Sutton, and it's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Mills now from the 50. Mills can't get away, and down he goes. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw, Mills. Oh, Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Double count.
On 3rd down, Wilson. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And he's going to have the Broncos first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Williams. Nifty move. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Good job right there. Good job right there. Go left, go left.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover. They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mills now. Going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Extra point from McManus is good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. This defense for the Broncos, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times.
And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Nick Benito. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 14 to 7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. After the pick 6 a moment ago, here's Mills again. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. That tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's got him in. Complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Play action. It's Wilson. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
The kick by McManus is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After 1, 17-7 is our score. On 2nd and 11 now. Mills. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
21 yards there on 3rd down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 35-yard line. A 1st down throw for Mills. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quad Williams. And the Broncos will take over here just shy of the 30. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's a give up the middle, and it's a fumble, and the Texans scoop it. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. Pierce now up the middle.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 29.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
Looking to throw is Mills.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown of the new season.
And the Texans have retaken the lead.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Broncos 17.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone.
Darius Phillips on the return. The Broncos take over 1st down 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now, after the loss, they'll have to navigate a 2nd and 17. They go play action with Wilson.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Mills. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. He wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. And now here is another interception. There he goes left side. The 40. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus now for the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Coming off the pick six, it's Newton. This is caught, it's Cooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Newton. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. picked off by Pat Surtain. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Makes the score Texans 28, Broncos 24.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Phillips now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Here's Eason off the play fake. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Texans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And some space here. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Texans.
20. 8.
Now Newton on first down. Swings this out here for Cohen. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again on second down. Newton. They're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. So that now back-to-back drive CD that have ended with an interception.
I don't know about you, but I'd call my quarterback over, put an arm around him, and say, hey, take a look at the scoreboard. We're playing with a lead. Let's be smarter about what we're doing out there.
Easy.
On first down, Wilson. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. To throw again on second down. Eason to Gordon, out left. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. Now Wilson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
From the 3-yard line again, they'll try and punch it in here on third and goal. Now it's Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Tim Patrick in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point from McManus is good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on out to our studios in Orlando. Here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cohen. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Throwing is Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Now Wilson. Touchdown Broncos. Eric over. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they'd love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
McManus's point after is good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Third and 2, Newton. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe you want some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
Hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And some room to run now. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. He's got it with the 15. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now on 2nd and 13, Wilson. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. And this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his third interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
On second down, Gordon once more. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now Oladokin, 3rd and long. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're... And now here's another interception. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 22. The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally,
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. It's picked up by the Broncos.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
On second down, Gordon once more. And he'll be taken down at the 34.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. On 3rd down, here's Pierce. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
Don't forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every
front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They have more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Good.
One last throw here for Newton. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half.